DrayZera Uncensored with our co-host, Jack E. Hyde. Yo! Welcome everyone to another episode of DrayZera Uncensored with your co-host, DrayZera. But I did not come alone, for it's time to atone, for we not alone, cause we got the masked wonder of the world, professional wrestler Jack E. Hyde. Welcome, man. How are you today?
What is good in the neighborhood?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I think that was an intro to some sort of like 90s R&B hit or something.
I don't know.
What's good in the neighborhood? Anyway, so speaking of good, we're gonna move to guard. Take off the O from good. We got guard. And myself and Jackie Hyde, we've got some various different experiences of this, and we're going to talk about God and is God real? So, I'm going to say this with a disclaimer. If you are a devout person of religion, and you believe in God, or if you believe in various gods or goddesses and that kind of stuff, right? This is not anything to discriminate against you. We are just having an open discussion whether God exists or not. So if you have your own opinions, please comment below. But we're not here to insult anyone. We just want to have our own opinions. So yeah, so Jack, now that I've said that disclaimer, is God real?
I don't think so.
Why is that?
It depends if God is classed as aliens or not.
Are we going back to the Anunnaki theory from a few episodes ago? But yeah, no, tell me, because like you showed me like, here's the thing, I had my opinion before you showed me this video. So there was this video, what was it, Zeitgeist or something like that?
Yeah.
Explaining about how like fictitious all the religious scripts are and how mad it is. So tell me, man, so growing up, did you grow up in, say, Christianity or religion, or were you never really brought up religiously?
I was never really brought up religiously. Like, we had Christmas and shit, but everyone do, don't they, now?
Yeah, I mean, Christmas is more of a kind of a marketing capitalist kind of shizzle, you know what I mean? So, like, and people don't really talk about, like, the whole kind of Jesus and all that kind of stuff. They talk about that Christmas tree, presents, who's got the most, like, who's got the biggest Christmas tree, who's got the Christmas decorations, kind of like material stuff, to be fair. And it is kind of mad in my opinion, because, like, thing is about religion is that one of the things that really scares me about religion, and again, like, if you're religious or listening to this, like, I'm cool with whatever you believe in, like, whatever you believe in, that's no skin off my back. But I find it very scary of the people who are like high up in religion, like the people like priests or, for example, the Pope. How much control they have, and I just find that quite scary. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I don't know. I think for as much as religion's supposed to bring people together, I think it's just as destructive. Like, think of all the wars all the time through, like, in history and shit, of what have happened over religion.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I mean, the whole, like, the Bible said love thy neighbor, but, like, did you really love your neighbor? Like, you know what I mean?
I don't like my next door neighbor.
I don't think you like many people.
No.
I don't like my neighbor. No, you fucking hate people in general. Yeah, I do, actually. So, going back into thy Lord and all that jazz, thing is that, like, for me, I just find it perplexing in a way, kind of the thoughts of, like, the idea of, what really makes me weird is that, like, the kind of, like, functionality and how, like, weirdly structured religion is, because I feel that if you are a person that really wants to be supportive of religion, I feel like you should be proper flexible, like, why should church be on a Sunday? Why should you must go to the mosque, or what's the main part of the mosque is going on like a, for example, um going on a mosque on a Friday, you know what I mean?
Mm.
Yeah, it is kind of mad from my perspective, like growing up in a kind of Muslim background, like legit, like I'll tell you right now, and this is no disclaimer kind of thing. This is just me being like serious and honest from my experiences. So like
Yeah.
when I was learning Arabic in Arabic lessons as a little kid, like they had the
Yeah.
stick, and in case like you mispronounce a word, they basically threaten you with the stick, or in sometimes you actually get wrapped around the fingers. I'm not lying to you.
Well, they just start beating you with a fucking stick.
Or no, they didn't beat me with a stick, but they just hit me with the stick, if that makes sense.
Wave it in your face.
Yeah, like it was scary as hell, man. Like when I was younger, like I was young. Remember, I was like what? I think I did Arabic lessons from the ages of 6 or 7 to the age of 10 or 11. And again, like the thing is that I ain't gonna mention names because
Mm.
the people that did like threaten me with a stick and that kind of stuff, they're
That's
like
like,
they're like either, without sounding disrespectful, they've either passed away or they're very very old kind of thing. It's kind of the reason why like I'm looking at my hands now. On the back of my hands, I've got little very 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 faint like marks on my knuckles kind of area,
yeah.
and that was caused by that. And like
Yeah.
I mean, like through history, right? Through history, and like I mean, it's not as long as like in the 1950s, 60s, 70s, that kind of time when like the ruler or the whip was out in school. So,
Yeah.
which we talked about in the previous episode of school anyway. But um, like fear is a big thing, and I find that kind of scary. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
That's weird, because that's not out of love, is it? That's out of like, I don't know.
it's out of the whole kind of. It's a mixture of fear and the idea
Yeah.
of the FOMO phrase called fear of missing out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel I'm gonna be honest. So, like, talking from my perspective, like, growing up as a kid, I was, I grew up in a Muslim background, yeah, and like, I'm gonna say
Yeah.
this to any family members listening, like, you can be religious and that kind of stuff, you can be all that kind of stuff, and you can believe in Allah and all that kind of stuff, you can go to Mecca and that kind of stuff, but that's not my life, guys. Like, I mean, I ain't going to shave my hair off at all for Mecca, because that's the thing. If you didn't know, in the Muslim religion, men are meant to shave all their hair off when going to Mecca.
What?
Yeah, can you imagine? Like, yo, me and you, we don't look good bald, man. We need our hair.
What's Mecca?
Sorry?
What's Mecca?
Mecca's like that place of worship in Saudi Arabia that Muslims go to for pilgrimage.
Oh shit.
You didn't know that?
No.
You know that black box?
Yeah.
That's the place of Mecca for worship.
Oh. Yeah.
That's the place I'm referencing to, and like, and obviously due to at the time of recording, I think that place is looks like closed. You know what I mean? Because about 100, 200,000 people congregate in one kind of place of worship. I'm not. Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure that the black box symbolizes the location or where Muhammad is buried. I'm 90% sure that's the reason why they go to Mecca and the pilgrimage kind of thing. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
the thing is also, and I think you'll vouch for this as well. I feel that if I know that people can be expressive. There are so many expressive people that live their own way and act like, they act very like their own kind of artistic way within religion.
Yeah.
Like, for example, if you go back to rap, NF, he's a devout Christian, but he has got some very artistic bars. However, and I'm pretty sure Eminem is religious as well. However, I feel that in my personal experience, so I can only talk from my personal experience, I felt that the religion in itself and the parameters of it really made me feel locked up and really felt imprisoned.
Yeah.
Really felt like I couldn't be me. And I find that to be really scary, you know?
Yeah, like, I don't know. I don't understand how religion really is supposed to work. Like, I don't know. All the time when everyone's saying they're supposed to bring everyone together, and all this really causing is everyone against each other.
Yeah, I get what you
When
mean.
all the people majority of the people who like don't believe anything are like cool with everyone and just want everyone to get on.
Yeah, like, for me, like, I'm gonna say this, guys, like, legit, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. You can believe in God, you can believe in Allah, you can believe in Passover, you can believe in Sikhism, you can believe in Hinduism, Ganesh, Shiva, all them gods kind of thing, you know what I mean? That's chill. But I do believe that, no lies, that, like, um, I like to, like, when I was younger, I tried to believe in God, but I feel that if we're going into deep shit territory, I felt like the way that I've been treated in said religion, I felt that I don't belong, you know? So I felt as if I wanted to forge my own shit, my own path, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's kind of why, for me, I don't want to use religion as a way for me to live the way that I want to live, if that makes sense. I don't want to, like, live a way that stifles my art, you know what I mean? Like, stifles me.
You miss out a lot of what life is meant to be as well if you're religious.
Oh yeah, can you elaborate on that?
Set so many boundaries for yourself, don't you? Like, I don't know. I'm not religious really, so I don't know.
Well,
like obviously I have boundaries for myself, but I'm not like yeah.
I feel also that, like, religious scripts contradict itself a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that people, in general,
That's been whispered through time, I think, and just the same thing, and it just passed on for years, but it's changed each time.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I think
saying a million years from now, not even a million years, how old are the like Bibles and shit what have been found, all them scriptures?
Oh, are you talking about the Bible scriptures, or just in like thousands of years, isn't it? Or
like all them things what have been found?
So what was it? I think the text of the Anunnaki that was discovered by the archaeologists, that was over 10,000 years old or something like that.
Yeah. Saying 10,000 years from now, will we dig up the Batman book and be like, this actually happened, this was real?
Yo.
And say like there's a god in it. What's the god called in Batman? Oh, what's his fucking name? Darkseid. Say Darkseid's fucking god, and they're like, oh, this is what God looked like. Because there's his god in it.
That is a very interesting point. I never really thought about that, actually. That's actually pretty provoking, actually.
Yeah.
Definitely. Like, I'm like, yo, you bring a fair point, actually.
Yeah.
That's actually a mad ting point. Like, yo, that's really blown my mind. And the thing is, though, is that I feel that it's okay to literally talk about, like, these kind of topics, because I legit feel like, I think that people shouldn't be afraid about talking about religion in the other kind of way. Like, again, me and Jack aren't here to offend. We just want to have that open discussion. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know, and I feel that, and this is me being completely honest, people of maybe a religious persuasion from my kind of background, they're too shit scared of talking about religion and that kind of stuff, yeah? And I'll throw in an example, yeah? So, in the Muslim religion, it's kind of respected that, it's kind of not expected, but it's kind of like traditional to have arranged marriages.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you a story. So I'm not going to mention names, because this person's a relative of mine. So, in the year 2005, a relative came around mine, and she came along and just wanted to like have a chill time. And I think at that time she was what, 17, 18 or 19 at the time, right? So she's a few years older than me at the time. And I think the main reason why she came to the country actually was for her mum to literally get her married and to get into this country, England. So, and I mean, a few kids later, she's obviously though she got married. She got married. I think in February 2016, I believe.
Yeah.
Not 2016, 2006. Yeah, I was young. Yeah, 2006. And I just find that like the thing is that religion can be good. Religion can give you goodness. Like if you like quote unquote find God. Say that again.
There are positives to it.
There are positives to it. There are absolutely positives. But, and I say this seriously, the thing is, and this is one of the saddest things about it all, I honestly feel, no lies, that I feel that it's... People tend to... Not everybody, but there is a percentage of people that manipulate. They legit manipulate how... they want to manipulate religion to satisfy their own ideals and to satisfy... pardon me, quote-unquote tradition. And that's sad, really. Like, I mean, like, this individual, right? This individual who I'm talking about, and I'm not going to mention her name, she was bright, she was intelligent, and in a country where my country of origin, Bangladesh, is, like, no two ways about it, there's still much more harsher sexism and oppressiveness for women in that country in comparison to a slightly more developed country. Now, I know oppression happens everywhere for women, and that is disgusting, but in a country like that, having free speech for women, even though, at the time, you've had a female prime minister or president, DrayZera, whatever her name is, right, at the time, right, you felt oppressed. Like, as a woman, you feel oppressed, and she could have been, like, whatever she wanted to be, but unfortunately, due to the rife sexism and how like society is and definitely was for her at the time, she just like unfortunately became a forced stay-at-home mum, due to society and linked to how religious tradition worked in that religion. Now, obviously, it doesn't work. It's not for everybody. I know it's not everyone, but I'm using that as an example because, I know quite a lot of Muslim women. I know a lot of Muslim women. I know women of religion that have thrived, have got their own individualism, right? But I'm just showing the other side of things. I'm showing you my own experiences and how I interpreted it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just went on a mini rant. Hold on, I was like, holy shit, I ranted, holy shit, But yeah. But no, I'm just saying how it is. Like, that's how it was. And that's how it is. Like, there is an extent of women that, especially at poor developed countries, that feel oppressed, that can't do their own thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that is, unfortunately, that's really sad. Like, use an example, right? When we were kids, like, women in wrestling, they were literal just sex objects, unfortunately,
Yeah.
And nowadays, you get, like, wrestlers such as Tony Storm, you have more local wrestlers such as, the Queen Amara, and you got, Sami Zayn, you've got Charlie Morgan, you've got, Asuka, you've got Britt Baker, wrestlers like that. Now, they're having the limelight of being treated as people rather than objects. And I think that is one thing, like, the whole kind of, like, disgust of, like, the whole kind of 72 version theory and that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
And that's, like, kind of sad. Now, guys, I'm not, like, I want to keep saying this because I just want to really reassure you guys. I don't want to, like, feel like I'm shitting on religion. But these are the reasons, from my end, why I don't want to feel being religious, because I just feel so shackling. Yeah. So, like, you're telling me, Jack, that your parents or your family, they're not really religious themselves?
Nah, nah.
Nah, not even like, say, your previous generations or
Oh, my nanny was.
affairs. Like, was she like proper devout or was she kind of like chill?
She was chill, but like, yeah, if I'd like talk shit about God or something, she'd be like, oh, what?
How dare you?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Ah, man, that's like, yeah. Oh man, it's just so interesting. Like religion in itself is a really deep topic, and like how it is like kind of thing. And um, like so, do you feel that, in your opinion, do you feel that religion was created as a form of a control mechanism?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And that's like, and I just find that quite intriguing in itself. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. It'd be like ancient history comic books or some shit.
mm, mm. And you know what, right? Yeah, people might be thinking I'm just shitting on religion and that kind of stuff, but for me, I could talk about religion all day because I've had that shit, guys. I've had that experience of being religious, and I think it was Jack. I feel it was around 15 and 16 when I just found it to be absolute bullshit for me, like the way that I want to live. So I went to Bangladesh for the second time. So the first time I was 8, I was young, I could barely remember. But when I was 16, I went to Bangladesh, and I'm like, yo, like the idea of just literally like staying, like going to prayer, like you have these big sirens to go to prayer and that kind of stuff. And don't get me wrong, like praying can be very therapeutic and it can be like good for the soul in a way, but that made me feel like, oh, we have to pray at this time. Oh, we have to pray at this time. Oh, we gotta go to this time. We gotta do this and that. Like, I mean, the life that I live as DrayZera, the life that I live at DrayZera, that's kind of like already I've got a structure in place. But the difference is, Jack, is that that's my shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I fuck with my shit. I don't want to fuck with that shit. Do you know what I mean? Because that's not chill. And also, I'll tell you this for reals, yeah. If people knew in Bangladesh that I had tattoos, yeah, they would literally like treat me like as if I'm like an absolute foreigner. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I've actually got a friend from Libya who lives in Nottingham,
Uh-huh.
and he's got cross tattoos and shit all on his arm.
Oh yeah.
Like, he did cross tattoos, and he said that when he goes home and shit to see his family, he's got to wear long sleeve shirts all the time because people would kick off if they saw him with crosses on.
Oh yo, 100%. Yo, I relate to that. Like if ever,
Yeah.
like I don't want to, but if ever I have to be going to Bangladesh, like for whatever reason, then I would have to like wear long sleeves and like cover myself up kind of thing. Like I don't have like um with you know um
Can you imagine if I went there?
bro bro. Here's the difference though, right? You're white.
Yeah.
Like the difference is like your Libyan friend, because he's from Libya, right?
Yeah.
Like
He's white.
say that again.
He's white, but he's from Libya.
Yeah, but here's the thing. So, people can look at my face. So, people in Bangladesh, they tend to have a bit more darker skin than me because it's much more hotter climate there, right?
Yeah.
And they can just look at my face and they know that I have Bengali blood. Similar to your friend. They can look at their face and they can easily see that they're like Libyan blood, and also the fact that I would assume that your friend can communicate in that language as well.
Yeah.
So with that said, like yeah, like I am legit. Like I'm not gonna lie to you. I would be so shit scared of going to Bangladesh without like a form of security, because like countries like that, there's hella corruption kind of thing, and like I don't feel that comfortable. You know what I mean? Like I legit do not feel comfortable going to Bangladesh, and also like there is a spirit of there is, and also like going linked to religion loosely, like there's been journalists that talked against of Bangladesh and linked to religion. They've been like jailed just for having free speech. Do you know what I mean? And I don't want that shit. Do you know what I mean? Say that again.
You see that quite a lot now as well, with like loads of places now around the world.
Exactly, and that's like sad.
Yeah.
That is absolutely sad, absolutely, and I mean, the thing is, right? I'm going to say it like this. There are some religion has helped a lot of people that I know, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
Say it again.
I've got a question for you.
Go on.
Do you think religion will never die out?
Oh my god. No. And I'm going to tell you why. The reason why is money talks, and the thing is like church ministers and like places of worship, right? They get to live tax-free, right? And the finances, all that kind of stuff. And at the end of the day, Jack, like anything, money talks. And as long as there's money, there's always going to be a form of religion in some kind of way.
Yeah. It's mad how much that's about money when it's supposed to be about people in the sky and shit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Like, why does God need money?
Exactly. Like, why does God need money? Like, if anyone can answer that question, why does God need the money? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's like, why? You know what I mean? Like,
if you think about it, he didn't exist all back then either, like, I don't know.
Like, essentially, like, if you're being ultra cynical, religion, like anything, is a business.
Yeah.
And the thing with religion is that religion...
The American ones, when there's just all them people in the thing and they're like, oh, they're all like falling over.
Yeah. Are you talking about them kind of like the spiritual stuff where they're like, I will heal you kind of stuff? Are you talking about that?
You just know it is.
I'll be honest, right? I believe in a form of spiritualism and vibing and frequencies and that kind of stuff. What I don't believe in is the control and stifleness of religion. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, fair enough. Maybe some of these people could have existed and shit, but I doubt that went the way that went in the books.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, I think though,
say if Jesus was just some fucking mentally ill guy who's like, oh, there's fucking people in the sky, and they're like, oh, he's fucking God's son, let's fucking kill him. And then that's pretty much all the story was. And then through time, that's gonna have shit added to it over and over again. Like, oh, he done this and he done that, and it's become what it is.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're right. I mean, it's scary. Like, it's scary, but the thing is that religion to me, religion will always slightly affect me for the rest of my life due to my upbringing and the connections that I've had through my family and that. But I want to live my own life, and I feel that for me, right? Again, me and Jack are not offending or whatever. But if you want to live your own life, you want to have religion in your life, that's chill, yeah? But what I don't like is never force religion on someone else, right? Never force something that they're not comfortable in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and yeah, it's just mad, like, it's just absolutely mad. So, right, so in summary, like, I'll let you summarize. What do you think the future of religion is?
I'll probably just be the same shit forever. I don't know.
But your theory...
I think more people start to not believe it, though. Just because the way the world is now.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm listening. Yeah.
yeah. Oh. Yeah, I think that would just be the same thing forever, and that would just, maybe that will change. I don't
Hmm.
know.
Yeah.
I think more people are starting to become wise to science and stuff now, though, over that kind of stuff.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
say if you've got a plan, like, I think the other thing with religion as well is I think it's a lot easier for people to say God did it than it is to actually explain stuff. Like, say, if I've got this plant, yeah, I could sit here and I can be like, how does this plant grow? There's atoms in the air and there's all like chemistry and all this weird fucking science shit I don't understand and know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Or you could just be like, God did it. And that's like easier to say, innit, than trying to explain what
See,
actually is.
I was taught as a young, I was talking, I always talked from a youngster. I've always been taught to question questions, and
Yeah, that's what I always think about it.
exactly. And the thing is, right, is
That's
me and
wise,
you.
isn't it?
Sorry, go on.
That's wise to question everything.
Because then, for me, I don't want to feel like sheep or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's the thing, really. That's the thing for me. And yeah, like that's the that's the whole crux of the matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm. And that's the kind of thing. Oh man, we could talk about this for ages, but in a few minutes we're going to be having artist Tom Rudd coming to interview yours truly, DrayZera. But yeah, like in summary, I'm just gonna say it how it is. Like I feel that religion has been. I'm not saying for everybody, but a percentage of people have used it for bad. And
Yeah.
while we could be ultra cynical and say overall it has been used for bad, I feel there's a lot of good that's come from it, and I don't think that should ever be ignored. But
Do you think religion would be bad, sir, if they took money out of it?
bro, that's a fair reason. Like, I'm gonna leave that to the comments below. My personal opinion is you're right. Yeah, comment below is should religion be a cash cow, or if money was removed from the religious aspect, then is that a good? You know what I mean? I think that's a very fair point, Jack. So yeah, right. So tell me, Jack. Tell me your social media, my dude. Because whoo, we have whiz through time.
We have Facebook, which is Jackie Hyde, and that's it.
Because what's happened to your Instagram, Jack?
I'm back.
He's banned because his masks are too offensive. And you know what's mad, right? I'm not trying to like discriminate or anything, right? But you have like I don't know, Nicki Minaj doing booty, yeah, right? And like horror films are like advertised, right, on Instagram. But what's wrong with your mask? You know? But in any case, yeah, now we're gonna move over to Tom Rudd. Thank you very much, guys, and yeah, looking forward to it. Welcome back to DrayZera Uncensored. We have got a very special guest. We have got the writer, the artist extraordinaire, hailing from the north with some dazzling cathedral lights nearby. We have got Tom Rudd. How are you today, Tom?
Yeah, I'm not doing too badly. Yeah, I'm good. Oh, thank you for that introduction. That was really cute.
I try, you know. I try. I mean, a lot of these introductions are usually unscripted, so I kind of freestyle the intros. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. So the reason why we're here today talking to the Tom Rudd is because of the fact that you have amazing stories to tell. You are a writer yourself. You run your own events, and yeah. So Tom, start us on in the journey of your life. I'm not talking about like from birth or whatever, but you mean like tell us more about you. Tell the audience, who is Tom Rudd?
Scarborough, 1996. No, I'm kidding. I'm not doing the baby. I'm kidding. I'm not doing the baby thing.
Go on.
So, I'm from a little coastal town called Scarborough. It's awful. I hate it. And I moved to York about 5-6 years ago.
Okay.
Originally for university. Ended up dropping out because of mental health issues.
And what course were you learning, if you don't mind me asking? Because I dropped out of my uni course as well.
What was that, sorry?
I dropped out of my uni course as well. So what course were you studying?
I was doing politics, actually.
Yo, that would drop most people out, to be fair.
True.
What?
A few problems happened, and I just randomly stumbled across the poetry scene in York.
Okay, so how did that all come about?
Well, it was an anti-Donald Trump protest.
All right, so that must have been somewhere around 2015, 2016 kind of time, or when was he inaugurated? I can't remember. Around that time, wasn't it?
2016, yeah, but we were specifically protesting against one of his visits to the UK in around 2018.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
It was early July 2018, and we were at this protest. It was massive, and at the end of it, I met this group of people who were dancing along to a loudspeaker blaring out "American Idiot" by Green Day.
Oh, that's a tune of the times, yeah.
It is. So yeah, I went over, started dancing, started talking. One thing led to another, and they invited me to the open mic that they run in York.
And what was the name of the event?
It's Bespeak. Bespeak.
Oh, Bespeak. I never heard of Bespeak. I mean, when I went to York, because I have been in York before, I went to York to go to a Say Out event.
Oh yeah, I love Say Out. They are amazing. Shout out to
Henry Raby. Henry Raby. He still runs that, correct? Or did he?
He
at
does,
the time? Yeah. Guy. Oh yeah. He's a good guy. Like I'm not personally for me, I'm not the biggest fan of slam poetry, but I did a slam there. I did jack shit in it, but it was good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, and So sorry, carry on. So from 2018, you started doing spoken word poetry and writing, and did you not do any writing beforehand, or was it there you really discovered your writing flow?
I'd done a bit of fiction writing as a teenager, but nothing serious.
Okay.
It was this time when I started going to the open mics that I started writing properly. Writing and performing came for me at the same time.
Okay.
So it's why I think I'm a lot more performative than a lot of other poets. Not that that's any better than reading.
Can you elaborate on what you mean?
Well, I just incorporate a lot of emotion and performance into the actual overall thing. Like I don't focus on writing.
So I see what you mean. So you're saying to me that you focus on the dramaticism and the artistic kind of body movement energy that can affiliate yourself with the words that you write. Yeah. Therefore, and that's how you kind of incorporate your writing. I could sort of relate to that. I relate to that a little bit. I mean, like, you may have seen me do some flamboyant chisel in my time.
I have. It's really impressive.
Oh, thank you. But don't worry, this is all about you. It ain't about me.
How I say something is just as important as what I say.
Oh yeah, intonation is so important because in my opinion, and I think science says this, it's not exactly what you say, it's the intonation and body language and how you come across. If that makes sense.
Exactly. Yeah.
I can relate to that, and so we're on this adventure of you learning spoken word poetry, you adding the performance and artistic elements. So, did this all come about with you being generally just artistic in general? I mean, before you came across this spoken word world, you were generally an individual that was very were in love with the drama kind of world. Would that be correct, or?
I've always been interested in Yeah, the emotion of certain things and the creative side of stuff. I've never been a logical brain person. I've always been a creative brain person.
Aye.
It makes any sense, left versus right brain. I've always been the creative side.
Aye. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And then from that point, when did your own spoken word evening came about? Because I think for you to suddenly have your own event, hosting an event, that's a massive step for anybody.
It is, yeah. It was a huge step. Basically, what happened was that there's a little library in York, in Acomb, which is a part of the network of Explore libraries in York.
Okay.
And I was volunteering there. I was helping out with. There were like remembrance days. We'd bring people from the local care home in to the library and show them videos of like the time of their childhood and like events and how life was back then, so they could remember and talk about it. And I got chatting with the person that ran that at the library, and they found out that I was a poet and doing this stuff, and they just asked me if I wanted to run an event. It was the first time that I'd been asked to do something rather than me asking to do it myself, if that makes sense.
Wow, that's kind of like, that's quite an honor. That's great. That's cool.
It is. It definitely is. Yeah, I am still really grateful to Fiona. Shout out to Fiona. I'll see you later.
And then from that point on, did it just go from strength to strength, in your opinion?
It's definitely. It's been a learning curve. Running my own event. I've only done a few of them. We run them really irregularly at the library because it's all dependent on their calendar and what they can fit in, and when's good times to run it. I generally go for like mental health awareness week, that kind of thing, or mental health awareness day, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
To give it that kind of significance.
Right.
But
and then tell me then, so that with the event titling itself Sad Poets Doorstep Club, tell us then, why did you what was the ethos and the main vibe of the mental health theme? Because obviously various other events, they have different kind of themes. So what made you decide to pick mental health? Because mental health is a very important topic to me, because I myself, as I said before, I dropped out of uni due to mental health issues. So tell us more about the mental health ethos. Tell us how it all came about.
Well, yeah, mental health is a really, really important subject to me as well. I am diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, depression, anxiety, and all that good stuff. So I've been on my own like mental health journey these last few years, and writing poetry about it has been really cathartic and almost therapeutic in a sense.
Yeah, definitely.
So what I wanted to do was open it up to more people, because the open mics I did before I started this event, they were welcoming of mental health content, but it wasn't. I don't think it was really the place for a lot of my stuff, because a lot of my stuff was really like dark and talking about trauma and all that stuff.
Oh yeah. I mean,
really dark content, talking about their trauma, and a lot of people were feeling a bit uncomfortable with doing it in general spaces.
Oh yeah, I get what you mean. So you're saying that one of your main motivations in creating this environment is to create a safe space and a voice for people that really want to let out, essentially, those thoughts, those emotions, in order to not only kind of feel better about themselves, but also as an open forum of discussion. Would that be fair?
Exactly, yeah, exactly. It's just to open the space up, to give people room to say what they need to say, relate to other people that are saying similar things, make connections and like relate to people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's pretty cool. I mean, that's absolutely admirable. And I mean, like, I guess the only thing is that obviously, would you like to envisage yourself and maybe running it more, like, say, once a month more, or do you feel like this current system of once, say, per season, is that something that you would prefer at this point?
Once per season was good. It was. Yeah, it gives a lot of time between events, and lets me get my head straight and stuff. But now that we're on Zoom because of this pandemic, I have decided to run it at least twice, back to back. So
Yeah.
this month, and I've just posted the event for June.
Yes. Yes.
As well. So
Let's
we're doing monthly now. I don't know how long that's going to keep going.
Oh
But-
yeah. Let's talk about this briefly. Like, so this will come out just before the event will be coming out. So tell us more when this event will be out, and tell us how people can check it out, because it's been associated with Whiskey and Beers Publishing. That could be streamed. Anyone can watch it even if you're not on the Zoom call.
Exactly. Yeah. It's going to be on the 22nd of June.
Mm.
8 a.m. start. And yeah, if
8 a.m. you said.
Sorry.
You said 8 a.m.
8 p.m. start.
I was gonna say, like, yo, wake up on my days.
Oh yeah, no, I can't do mornings. Yeah, definitely 8 p.m. start. Sorry about that.
It's alright. It's alright.
And yeah, if you just search Sad Poets Doorstep Club on Facebook
Mm.
or my Facebook page, Anxious Anarchist Poetry,
Mm.
you can find the event through there.
Yeah.
And yeah, it'll be live streamed on Whiskey and Beards.
Shout out Connor. Shout out Connor and the gang. Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Connor Sansby and the rest of the gang, Alex Fellis, everybody else.
And I'll say that, like, yeah, it's pretty awesome. Like, I mean, I've been to that event like once, or I think it was either once or twice. No, I think it was once. Yeah, it was once the other day that I was at the last event, and that was a pretty good vibe. I mean, all the performers, they really showcased their hearts out, and it was a very diverse crowd. And I think diversity is very important, especially within any kind of space, in my opinion. And I think poetry is perhaps one of the most diverse and accepting kind of arts out there.
Definitely. One of the nicest communities I've ever been a part of.
Mm.
They're so supportive. It's so nice.
Mm. I mean, nothing, in my opinion, is a utopia. But I feel like poetry, from my personal experience, I feel more often than not, poetry does lend itself to be far more open arms than, let's say, music or sports, etc. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Mm. Yes, well, that's definitely the case. So, all right, let's discuss about part of the title, about the non-binary that you are. And God, I want to make sure that I want to make sure that I want to, like, correctly term, because obviously for all those that haven't noticed, the pronouns to say to Tom are them or they. Is that correct?
That is correct.
That is correct. Yep, absolutely. And so tell us about that journey into moving out of the binary world, because obviously for me, like, I identify myself as male. But for me, my philosophy is you can be whoever you want to be. Like, you know what I mean? Like, be whatever, be whoever, as long as you're happy. So, tell us the journey that you had to go through to go out of the binary world, because for me, it must be so difficult, because there's a lot of like, what's the word? There's a lot of like negativity towards people not understanding non-binary and that kind of stuff. So, in your own words, please tell us.
There's a lot of xenophobia and bigotry about it all, yeah.
Mm.
But no, you've kind of hit the nail on the head. The whole thing about this is that, yeah, people can be whoever they want to be, you know what I mean? Like, there's no... People say, oh, it's just male and female, but it's not. These are terms invented by people to describe some arbitrary thing. You know what I mean? Like, when you really think about it, it doesn't mean anything.
I mean, like, the way I see it is that, like, the phrase male and female, they weren't created from, like, the idea of, basically, it was like we were kind of told from birth. You know what I mean? Like, rather than giving us the choice. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah. It's honestly, I think it's ridiculous. Even from a biological standpoint, there are more chromosomes than just XX and XY. There are a lot more combinations of chromosomes that you can have in your body that might make you intersex, that might make you whatever. Really, it flies in the face of the classifications that we have.
Okay.
Massively outdated.
That's interesting. I never really thought about the whole chromosome thing because I loosely remember because I'm old, right? But so I loosely remember biology in like the whole XX and XY. I remember that, but they never really. And I know this was like high school biology, but regardless, they never really went deeper than that. If that makes sense.
There's a lot more than just XX and XY. So many more have been discovered. You can be like XYY, XXY, that kind of thing. All sorts.
Okay, and so, and then correlating to non-binary, that essentially means that there are far more than just two chromosomes, which, to be fair, I mean, anyone can do their research. It's all there for everyone to see, correct?
Yeah. Basically, with me, it's how to describe this.
Please take your time. It's fine.
So I don't relate to male or female. Neither of them hold much interest, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I don't see myself as either. The correct term for how I identify is agender, which means neither male nor female.
Okay.
I say non-binary because that's easier, and I'm in the non-binary umbrella, which is under the trans umbrella. It gets real complicated.
It's okay. Like at the end of the day, the DrayZera Uncensored podcast is not just for the whole audience to learn, but I'm happy to learn as well because because obviously like I have talked to various people within the umbrella you described, but I don't often have the opportunity to talk in more deeper terms. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. So
it does, yeah.
I feel that there's not enough of a conversation, you know. But that's part of the reason why we're having this discussion, so that the whole world can learn about different chromosomes and the spectrum and that kind of stuff. So tell me then, if you don't mind me asking, at what point were you researching and understanding chromosomes and the transgender kind of spectrum, if that's the right terminology? Like,
it's the right term, yeah.
At what point did you discover, if that made sense?
Well, I've been doing my research since I was about 16.
Okay.
That's when I came out as not straight.
Okay.
I came out as gay, and then I changed that to bi, and then as I kept learning and building on my knowledge of sexual orientations and stuff like that until I was comfortable with where I was.
Yeah.
And then I looked at gender when I started university about age 18, 19.
Okay.
I started looking at gender identities and all that stuff, and I was like, hey, I don't feel very masculine ever. Because I'd never questioned it until that point, but when I started thinking about it, I kept realizing all these things that didn't quite add up, if that made sense.
Yeah.
So I kept looking and I kept thinking about it, and it's like, I don't agree with either of these gender roles. I think they're outdated and arbitrary at this point.
100%. So, without going into too much detail, because I like to keep my life private, but there is this beautiful woman in my life, right? But I've said to this person, yo, gender roles are like shit, yeah? Like, you could do your shit, I could do my shit, do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, do whatever, you know what I mean? And I mean, and me coming from, as it will be discussed in the rest of the podcast with Jackie Hyde, as you'll listen back, my upbringing was quite religious, and there were some heavy gender roles, and I found it to be bullshit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's weirdly tied to the church, which is really strange. It's all about keeping people, you know, in line and subservient.
Aye, and of which you've almost hit the nail. You've more or less hit the nail on the head that we were talking about earlier, of which you'll get to enjoy when it comes out. But yeah, So tell me then, like, do you feel that being non-binary and getting out of the binary system of male, female, do you feel that you can finally breathe and just be who you are? Because for me, like, when I stepped away from religion, I know it's a completely different like process, right, and a different kind of world right there. Stepping out of religion for me made me feel more like myself. So for you, stepping out of the whole binary kind of like ideology, do you feel now that you can be yourself, you can express yourself, and just be Tom Rudd?
Yes, 110%. It's just made me relax a lot more. Really, I'm a lot more comfortable in day-to-day life. I can wear what I want, wear makeup if I want to, all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It's a lot more freeing. Once you realise that these two things hold no weight.
Yeah.
It's just everything's open. You know what I mean? I can wear whatever I want and still be non-binary. There's a lot of stuff that I can do that I didn't do when I identified as male.
Due to constraints within like how society tends to like label people, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's the fucking blue and... Sorry for swearing. It's the
you can
blue
swear,
and,
it's chill.
It's the blue and pink thing. I never wore pink as a teenager or as a kid, but I've got like 3 pink t-shirts now, and they're wonderful.
Yo, pink is chill. Like, when I went to Japan a few years ago, I got this lovely Yokohama F Marinos football top, and it's all pink. It's like, hell yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
You know, it's just... Society has put markers on the silliest of things to say, hey, this is for boys and this is for girls.
Aye, absolutely. Like, I mean, for example...
It's absolutely ludicrous.
I mean, like, for example, if I were to talk about my research, so there's this poem that I've written called Honest Illumination, and there was this bit in the poem that I mentioned how there was this company called Harper's Bazaar back in 1915, and before then, keep this in mind, before then, nobody gave a shit about how women shaved or not shaved, but from 1915, as a marketing campaign to basically generate more money during World War One, right, and to basically get out of that kind of financial deepness, right, basically Harper's Bazaar basically advertised that women should shave, you know what I mean? And that is where all this stigmatization of women have to shave, do you know what I mean? That's where it came from, all from that marketing campaign.
Yeah, if you do your research and look back, you'll see that the way society says that we should dress at the moment is actually very new and very, very recent. Like, if you look back even about 100 years, men were wearing like skirts and all sorts of stuff.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Men wear makeup, and that was the traditionally male thing to do. So,
absolutely, like, people just wear whatever. Like I mean, like you could see like an old old paintings from years back. You saw like people through anyone just dressing in a very flamboyant kind of way.
Exactly, yeah. Like that's one of the reasons why I don't think that we should, you know, listen to these societal, you know, I say regulations with you know, inverted commas.
Yeah, like for me, like in my time, I've cosplayed. Do you know Tekken at all? Like the fighting game?
I've heard of it.
So there's this character called Lily who's essentially blonde and wears like proper like white dressy flock kind of I'm about to beat you up after school kind of outfit. And I dressed up as her when I dressed up as her during a Comic-Con, you know, like makeup, everything, you know.
Yeah.
Got tennis balls as improving my chest, you know what I mean? Yeah, so you know, I dressed up as that. I've also during performing spoken word, I performed in a burlesque dress before. Was it burlesque? It was a petticoat dress. Yeah. It was in that kind of world. Yeah, I dressed in that. Yeah, and I also performed in a kind of like a burlesque kind of outfit with a whip in an event. Yeah. So, you know, like, I like to express myself too, and somebody of my ethnicity doing that, that's like do you know what I mean?
I do. I'm very proud of you.
Oh, thank you. I mean, if I might actually re-release the poem "Rifle in My Trifle," which has that slightly burlesque performance. It is somewhere online, but it hasn't been out. It came out 4 years ago.
I want to see it, please.
I'll tell you what. I might send it to you. And for all the listeners and viewers watching from around the world, I will probably reshare it. We shall see. We shall see.
Fantastic.
We shall see. So yeah. So in summary, do you feel that for anyone that identifies or is out of the binary world, or is agender, non-binary, etc., do you feel that this is essentially their best time, or will you think that within 10 years or in 10 years, do you feel that it'll get better, or do you feel that there'll always be hurdles?
Public perception is shifting, but it's doing it slowly.
Mm.
It's always a fight to be seen and to just exist, really. It's if you are questioning like where you fit in this whole like society full of norms and expectations, if you are actually questioning this, do your research and reach out to people that are in these communities, because we can help.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like, without sounding disrespectful to my parents would not understand what we're talking about. Do you know what I mean? Because
Absolutely same here. I don't talk about it with my parents.
like my dad's born flipping 1937. Do you know what I mean? Like, so like, back in those days, like, like color TV was a pipe dream. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, non-binary people have existed for centuries and like throughout history. Like, I don't have the stats in front of me right now, but like trans people have been around for a long time. It just was all hushed over and kept quiet.
Because of how.
It's understandable why people that were born a long time ago don't, recognize this kind of stuff. But it's just also really sad.
I mean, yeah, it is. Like, I mean, like, obviously. Sorry, go on.
It's not a new thing by any stretch of the imagination. None of this is new.
I mean,
everyone thinking, oh, why are all these pronouns coming around now? They're not. You're just learning about them.
Because the thing is, one of the reasons why I know that this is not new per se is that for many years I've been a fan of the whole burlesque kind of world. Right?
Yeah.
And burlesque has been around for centuries, right? So I've researched into it, and like I know some burlesque performers, and like they were telling me about this kind of stuff, and also like if I reach deep into it, like people who are performed, they don't identify, like there are people that don't identify as male or female. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's definitely not a new thing, but it shows you the unfortunate power of society in kind of like almost, I would say, almost brainwashing people into thinking that there is one way, but in essence there are many ways. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't say almost.
I mean is. Sorry. I tried to. I'm putting it in the sense of you know how it is. Like I don't want to be like. I agree with you. They have brainwashed. Like I'm not gonna bullshit you. They are brainwashed. But you know what I'm getting at here. Like I don't want to like. I don't want to like. I don't want. Please don't hate us. We're just expressing our views. Okay. Okay. Cool. Ooh. But but is that a fair point? Like because of how society and how people have governed us, they have basically made us think this way, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah, there's always going to be a pushback, which is unfortunate. Like at the moment, there's someone in the House of Lords that is trying to stop Marks and Spencers from allowing trans people into dressing rooms, which is upsetting. And the government are pushing back against trans rights at the moment, and that's actually quite terrifying, to be honest.
Isn't there like don't quote me on this, but wasn't there isn't there like I heard something that apparently you can't be identified as trans or etc. something like that until 18 or something like that? I heard something like that. Is that true?
They're trying to stop children from getting that help at that age. Yeah, they're trying.
That's not right. That's not right, because like let's be real here. Like you can't just expect like kids to just soak it all up, because otherwise, like, where are their rights? You know what I mean?
I'd just like to clear the air for a second, because I know there's a lot of confusion around this subject. The government are trying to stop kids from getting puberty blockers because they think it's an irreversible change. It's not an irreversible change. It's not damaging to the health of the person. All it does is stop the kid from going through the wrong puberty. because that's the issue.
Okay. I'm glad because obviously I don't know anything about that. Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
So
That's very common. A lot of people don't know the ins and outs of, like, you know, the transitioning and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I just thought I'd, you know, let you and the viewers know.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely fine. I think that's absolutely quite important to just educate people because so like for me, I've had people in the past. So I think a good example is I won't mention specifics, like I won't mention names specifically out of respect. But growing up, I had this. I'm gonna name some fake names. So there was this person called what was it? Let me think. I don't know. Sandy. Yeah. Let's throw an example. Sandy was identified a female, then gender reassigned to a male called Sam. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, like I supported the whole, like at the time I supported it and that kind of stuff, But obviously, like, and I was quite young back then anyway, so I didn't know the whole ins and outs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think what's very important, Tom, I think we can both agree is that, and I'm not going to lie to you, I've agreed on every single thing you said, because I've always believed you could be whoever the fuck you want to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
my point I'm trying to say is, like, I think it's very fair that we should always fight to whoever we want to be, like, regardless of what your religion is, regardless of what you believe in, regardless on who you want to be, just be you. And unfortunately, the people above us, the government or people in power, they don't want us to do that.
No, they don't. That's what the whole issue is about at the moment. They're trying to push back against our rights and stuff like that. So yeah.
Is that part of the reason you've nicknamed yourself the anarchist in a way?
No, I am an anarchist.
I just thought I'd just add that in as well. Sorry.
It's all right. Yeah, that's just who I am. I am an anarchist, and I am anxious, so it works.
I mean, I'll tell you what. You say that you're anxious, but hey, you've been amazing in this podcast. Like, you've been expressing yourself for just over half an hour.
Thank you. I've had a lot of practice.
It's all that spoken word. So yeah. So I'll tell you what. Yeah. I'll tell you what. If anyone could find further details about your work, it's all going to be in the description below in this video. But yeah, tell us all your links, Tom.
All right. I'm Anxious Anarchist Poetry on Facebook, at angry.unapologetic on Instagram, and at stuffpunks with an X on Twitter.
Aye, and you're more than happy to discuss to anyone about this topic, aren't you?
Yeah, I'll give it my best shot. I mean, I'm not exactly an expert in the field or anything, but I can have a go.
You can always talk from your own perspective, and I think that's the most important thing. Like, for example,
please approach me with respect, and I will reply in kind.
Absolutely. I mean, for me, I'm going to be legit here. If anyone likes to talk to me about this specific subject, I'd rather have somebody that's been in your shoes, because for me, I just speak like I feel that I wouldn't do the topic justice. Do you know what I mean?
I get you. Yeah. It generally takes people in the community to talk about it with any kind of, I don't want to say accuracy, but yeah, no. If people do have questions, I will do my best to answer them. Please just be respectful.
100%. Always treat people with respect. I mean, that goes without saying. I think that's one of the first things that everyone should learn about life. And yeah, it's just like, I mean, it's like, for example, like, if somebody wants to talk to you about Islam, like, hello, I've lived that whole kind of life. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Like,
I do, yeah.
Yeah, so like, I would be more comfortable talking about Islam because I've lived that shit. Do you know what I mean? And I've come out the other side.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, is there any final words you'd like to say, Tom? I mean, the time is literally, when I barely notice the time, that's how much whizzing along that we've been doing. You know what I mean? So
yeah, definitely.
So tell us any final words you'd like to say, Tom.
Watch the poetry event and protect your trans friends.
Absolutely. Always support everyone you love. especially those who are struggling and just in general in life, but also, yeah, please support your trans friends as well, because at the end of the day, they're not just trans friends, they are friends. Is that right, Tom? They are friends, they are people, they are human beings, you know?
And yeah, we need it right now more than ever because of all the government stuff that's
Absolutely.
happening.
Absolutely,
So, like, If
absolutely.
you've got trans friends, reach out, be nice, support them.
Remember, hashtag be kind. Never forget that. Right.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So, thank you very much all for watching. My name is DrayZera, and that has been Tom Rudd, and we shall Zera later. Bye bye.